Hello again and welcome to another episode of the Franchise Everything podcast. We talk about everything and anything franchising, and we're at somewhere, I always say we're somewhere different every time we start, but we're definitely at somewhere different now. We're at the first Hogs Breath franchise or Hogs Breath business ever in Airlie Beach in Queensland, and we're joined by Ginger White, who's the co-founder of Hogs Breath. Hello, Ginger.
Hi, thank you.
Thank you for allowing us to film up here and being part of it. Now, you guys have got a conference going on at the moment, don't you?
We do. We've got people travelling from all over the nation to come visit us here, and it's great, yeah.
And we can hear them all in the background, all having fun. So if you hear a bit of noise in the background, that's what it is. So we've picked an early to mid-afternoon where it's a bit quiet back here because you guys are dominating this restaurant tonight to talk about the origin of the Hogs Breath business and brand and story. So we're going to go into a bit of detail there. So let's kick it off. So for those who don't know, who've been what's Hogs Breath?
What's Hogs Breath? So Don, the original founder, and myself decided to open a casual dining style restaurant here in Airlie Beach. The idea came from his travels over in the States.
Yep.
So he had taken groups of sailors over to do a catamaran race.
So he's a sailor, full-on sailor, yep.
He's a sailor, but he started a little bit later on in life.
Yes.
And he took guys over to the east coast of the States from Fort Lauderdale, Florida, up the east coast to Virginia Beach, Virginia.
So how far is that?
It's 1,000 miles.
Okay, that's long.
Not kilometers, miles. Yeah.
Yeah.
And so from that, he visited a lot of beachside kind of towns and that.
Got a taste of the local culture everywhere he went?
Yes, yeah. And then he eventually ended up doing a race on the panhandle of Florida that was a similar concept, but ended up in Fort Walton Beach, Florida. Mm-hmm. And at Fort Walton Beach, there was a Hogs Breath.
Okay, so what was that Hogs Breath? What was it? Was it like a steak restaurant or?
No, it was for want of a better word, it was like a shack. It was like a oyster shack. They shucked oysters there. It was casual food. It was loud music. It was cold beer. Yeah. It's where the locals went.
So he just loved the whole feel of it and the atmosphere of it and everything, was it?
It was, a coastal town, so it was on the beach sort of thing. And he just, loved the idea of it.
So how do you get a steakhouse out of an oyster shack named Hogs Breath?
I think it just comes down to the American roots of things.
Yep.
So we had meal-sized salads.
Yeah.
Prime rib, obviously, is our
your
main dish.
staple. Yes.
Yep. And just American style type of food. Early days, which has been the mainstay on our menu since. And I think he just wanted to introduce that prime rib steak here in Australia.
So obviously you saw the vision of it, and I can imagine like long day sailing, getting there, he thought that would have been the best thing ever, going in there, cold beers, food.
Nice juicy steak.
Yes,
yep.
Yeah. So what year are we talking then when he's doing all that sailing and he soaks in this concept?
So I met Don in 1983.
Yeah.
He was doing the racing then.
Yeah.
And he probably about 86, 87 had the idea.
Yes.
And then started in about 88, and then the restaurant opened in 89.
Excellent. So what was the start from idea? So you'd known him since 83 and you were together. What was the start from the idea, hey, let's do this, to actually getting a restaurant open? So what do you recall? Because how long ago was it now? It's like you were saying before, it's like 36 years ago now, isn't it?
36 years. Yeah, I know. It's amazing. So I guess the early days, being a sailor, Don had bought a sloop and wanted to sail north. So from Sydney, he had plans to head up to Cairns, had a friend here in Airlie Beach, and decided to stop in and just love the area. It's a great area for sailing because of all the islands and whatever.
This Whitsunday is beautiful. Everyone comes up here for
and it's easy to just go off and anchor for the weekend. So it's a sailor's dream. So from that, I think he saw this semblance of those coastal towns and the US that he experienced there, and wanted to bring that same kind of feeling here. So we did. We found a little house to convert to a restaurant.
Wow. So that was what, 1988?
So he found it, 88, and then eventually opened in 89.
So what works did you have to do to the place to get it up for restaurant ready? Because, I mean, I'm trying to think of what what the code was like in 1989 to get it ready.
I don't even know the code. But the garage ended up being the kitchen.
Yeah.
It was. Somebody said to me at one point that because it was a smaller venue, that the energy got trapped, and it created
it had
this
real buzz.
Party.
Yeah.
Exactly.
Yeah.
And we used to write on the ceilings. It was a real mix match of everything when we first started.
Did you get a lot of photos of it? Like, you've still got lots of photos of the original house?
It's before the age of digital, so
yeah, of course.
It's a little bit hard. We do have some, but not as many as, of course, what we have now with photos and stuff.
Photos of there'll be about a million photos of tonight, won't there?
Yes.
Yeah. Okay, so you've got it open in 1989 and you're doing it there. So
on July 4th.
July 4th. That's again, very poignant.
Yes.
Very poignant.
To, I guess, draw back to our American sort of start.
So what was the original menu like? Was it very narrow or?
No. Well, a bit. When you say narrow, it...
I mean items, I suppose, or numbers of items and so on.
Yeah. Probably you'd say it was narrow.
Yeah.
Prime rib was on there. What I mentioned, the meal-sized salads.
Yes.
And created homemade desserts like our Mississippi mud cake, which is still the original recipe and still being served today. But burgers, the entrees were those finger foods that... You know,
and you were saying, is when we talked off air before this, you were talking about you were doing a lot of merchandising and stuff there, and you had a shack selling.
It was just it's like a little hole in the wall.
Yeah.
And I think the novelty back then is the restaurant sold.
They had T-shirts.
It had T-shirts.
Yeah,
so if you had a great time,
it's like a hard rock.
Exactly.
Yeah.
And it was. If you had a great experience, it's something to take away.
Yep.
And as the chain developed, we had the location name on the back. So it almost became almost like a collector's thing that people would go to a different location and get a shirt from that location as well.
Excellent. So that went for a few years. So when did it start to come on the horizon for other locations? So you opened in 1989.
We opened in 1989, and then just a year and a bit later, we opened the second one down in Mooloolaba.
Okay.
And then they shortly followed after that.
Yeah, and franchising?
Franchised, yes.
So how do you remember much of the franchise pathway? I'm trying to just wonder what the franchise pathway was like in 1990. How did that go?
I probably can't speak a great deal to it. Don wrote the first franchise agreement.
Yep.
And it was, I don't know, I think we were lucky early days. We had a lot of friends that wanted to join. They saw the thing that Don was trying to create and just how well it was taking off.
So what was the focus then on? So was it across the whole country you were focusing on then for growth?
So early days, it was more Queensland.
Yep.
Queensland based.
So it just made sense to do the Queensland stuff?
Yeah. And traveling and then getting our support staff then to help them out and everything as well. Then it ended up being more national.
Yeah. Yeah. So the growth of the national brand. So I think it's probably pretty fair to say that Hogs Breath was, for its size, was punching above its weight, I think, as far as brand presence go and impact in the marketplace. You were, the size that you were, your marketing, your brand presence and impact was probably even much bigger, probably because of your impact culturally and the positioning you had in the marketplace, I think. That American style casual dining.
Maybe a lot had to do with our sponsorships as well.
Yep.
We got involved.
So it was the hard work.
So I think that was an important part to us being lifestyle, and we wanted to create a lifestyle for the franchisees that was a fun place for our customers.
Great place to be.
Exactly.
Yeah.
It led into then our sponsorships. We sponsored sailing regattas. We started Hogs Breath Race Week here in Airlie Beach, and it was known as the Loud Shirt Regatta. It was the fun regatta, and it went on to our name on the V8s, on every windscreen in the V8s.
No, I remember that.
We sponsored Hobie Worlds one year here in Airlie Beach. So it lent itself to community events, longboards. We've got posters that have every different event that you can think of that we could put our name to. So I think that helped with our marketing and getting our name presence out there.
Do you remember the pathway at that time? Was something that it was a real deliberate thing to try and do to get out there, especially in sport? You seem to really align really well with sport. Was that a deliberate strategy, or was it from the sailing days?
From the sail, well, I guess we're all John's background being sporty and knew it was an avenue to get out into the marketplace. We didn't have social media back then like we do now.
It's hard to remember a world without it.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
So I guess it was just the easy way to get the name out there.
Yeah. Yeah. So what was the evolution like from then on? So was there thinking at that point that we've gone enough, or was it as far as you developing the brand and where you wanted to take the brand, was international ever on the radar for the Hogs Breath brand?
We ended up opening a few in New Zealand.
Yeah.
We're looking at that market again. We did go overseas to Asia as well. So yes, expansion internationally was always there as well.
Because it seems to be such a unique brand, and the branding, the positioning that you've created for it, I think it would stand out in those markets and be quite attractive to them, I think.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yep.
Yeah. So the evolution of the brand and, where it's headed. So, Tom's on board, as Tom Elliott and that sort of stuff. So what are you seeing? I mean, it's hard. I'm trying to think about what it must be like to be a co-founder of a business from 36 years ago and seeing it now and seeing new blood come into it and working on it and trying to take it to new heights and move it forward. So what are you seeing as the main differences from when you started to sort of now, as far as where do you see the brand is headed?
So we talk about our culture a lot, and that's something that is very important to us as founders, to keep, I guess that
vibe. Tom was talking about pink blood or something.
Pink blood. But the lifestyle for the franchisees too.
Yeah.
It's something that if they're having fun, they bring it to work.
Yeah.
And I don't know if that helps with the evolution of still growing something.
Passionate people. Yeah.
And I think our customers still recognize us all over the country still.
Yeah. So I suppose as a co-founder, what do you hope for something like a Hogs Breath in 5 or 10 years' time? What is your crystal ball and your hope and all that sort of stuff? What's your on your wish list or that you see?
So we need to grow our numbers and just attract franchisees that are, want to work in the business, are passionate about it, love the brand, want to support it in every different way, being part of their community. That's still very important to us. And so,
that's it. Excellent. Yeah. Well, Ginger, thank you so much for joining us and tell us the story. It's quite a thing, I think, to be here in the number one, at Airlie Beach for Hogs Breath and meet you. And we haven't come across each other before, so thanks so much for joining us on this Franchise Everything.
Enjoy your time here.
Oh, we will. No doubt we will. And that's it for another episode of the Franchise Everything podcast. If you like this, please share, subscribe, do all that sort of stuff, and we'll catch you in the next one soon.